Hey, folks. I am here just getting ready to do a little update about what's been happening around Splinter Collective and our struggles around supporting the encampment at Estevan Park. To give a little context, we've been in process of supporting the encampment and trying to defend their right to be in the park and also try to make the conditions better for them by keeping the bathroom clean and actually working with the city of Tucson to keep the bathroom clean for the last 6 months or so, and fighting for bathroom access for the last 2 years. But recently, at the end of April, the encampment was swept and evicted from where they were, which was a lot of chaos. And the cops came in and the city came in at 4 in the morning and slashed up everybody's tents, gave people 15 minutes to get out of there, bulldozed the camp, and threw everybody into a lot of chaos. After that, we were doing some emergency measures to put people in a hotel, to try to find services, these kinds of things. But we had about 80 people and their dogs and all their stuff to try to just help mitigate the worst of this crisis. As things have kind of progressed for the last month, we weren't able to continue putting people in hotel. We had to reduce the number of rooms that we had there, but it was a really great learning experience, and a lot of community members came out to volunteer, to donate, to run fundraisers, all kinds of things. It's been incredible, and we're so, so grateful to everyone who's done that. In that process, however, a lot of the people from camp moved over to this little wash that is adjacent to Splinter Collective. And that space is technically belongs to Splinter Collective, which wasn't clear before that. But because it technically belongs to Splinter Collective, I have now been charged with code violations for the trash that has accumulated based on everybody having to be moved. And even though we've paid the city to come and remove the trash and try to deal with that, that's still, the trash will continue to accumulate. More than that, though, I've been charged with civil infractions and misdemeanors for allowing people to camp. And basically, initially they said you're not zoned to have people camping here. Secondly, the next day they gave me a 24-hour cease and desist and said that I needed to post no trespassing signs and give the police the consent to come and enforce those no trespassing signs. I told them point blank, I refuse to do that. I'm not going to call the cops on these folks. And they said, okay, then you're in code violation. I was just served my court papers yesterday morning, and my court date is June 22nd. My charge is public nuisance for allowing people to exist on my property. And my question is, we've been pushing people from encampments around, you can't exist on public property, you can't exist on city property, you can't exist on railroad property, and you can't exist on private property, and now you can't exist on private property in which you even have permission to be there. So the question is, where are people supposed to go? And the city says we're offering services, and not to, the city is offering some services that are good. They are doing a Housing First program. I have criticisms of that program, but I think that program is good. But the volume of that program is so small that it cannot even accommodate this one single encampment in Tucson. There are many, many encampments in Tucson. This is one of the largest, but there are others that are bigger. And if we actually want to address this problem and just stop treating people like they are not humans and pushing them around and just saying, you can't be here, you can't be here, you can't be here, we have to do something different. So I'm really interested in trying to pilot these Housing First models. I'm really interested in trying to pilot all kinds of different programs. I have a lot of ideas. We have a really wonderful volunteer network. We're working on a lot of things. The city is working on a lot of things, but the resources that we have in Tucson right now fall so short of the actual need. And we have to move really fast because it is a very dire situation. It's a humanitarian crisis, truly. And I think it's akin to a FEMA level disaster where you have a lot of people who are suddenly unhoused because of COVID, because of the eviction moratorium being overturned, because of all of these other factors, because of inflation, and because of the housing prices in this town rising so rapidly, that we have to address it the way we would address a natural disaster or another emergency. This is an emergency. And basically, I've built relationships with a lot of these folks. There are wonderful people out there. They're trying the best that they can. It is so difficult to be poor. It is so difficult to be houseless. The amount of work people have to put in just to survive is really extreme. And we have to bring the resources to them. I just really want to encourage everybody to remember that these are humans and people, and they have opinions and ideas and skills, and there are a lot of options beyond the things that we're doing. I see these sort of social service agencies in the cities, they are innovating, but they're innovating slowly because that's how institutions and bureaucracies work. But we need to innovate a lot faster, and we need to make space for all of these social programs that are trying to build tiny home villages, trying to address this crisis in different ways. So anyway, I think it is absurd that I am now being criminalized for just trying to let people exist in a place. But that is the truth of the matter. And it's been a really intense month, and I appreciate everyone's support and any more support that you can give if you want to get involved. We have a lot of ways to plug in. I really appreciate all the love, all the support, all the energy, anything you want to do to bring your houseless neighbors a little love, a little energy, a little relief, a little supplies, a meal here and there. That is always super appreciated. Know that these folks are surviving in some pretty difficult conditions, and it's summer now, so in Tucson we got to ramp up and give folks some support. Yeah, and I really appreciate everyone. Follow us, become a member of Splinter Collective, throw your hat in the ring if you want to get involved. We're here to do all this together and try to make some social change.